everybody, CW here. Well, I pulled this trigger out. So many comments wanting to know what it was. I had to see because I couldn't remember. It is a POF. Now I've seen these and I can't remember what they are. There's no other markings on it other than the date. A lot of these triggers use a couple set screws. This one uses some rubber to cushion the bottom. Here's another one that I've used before and I like it a lot. I haven't been using it. It's got the 2 lock screws. Maybe I'll try this one. I like a flat trigger. But this one here moves it a lot farther forward. You can see how much farther forward that trigger is. It forces you to use the tip of your finger, but I know it looks really funky. But I got the receiver all apart here, so ready to reassemble. And with these triggers, I really like these. Why am I having focus problems? These anti-back out, anti-drop out pins. I don't necessarily see a need for anti-rotation pins. Matter of fact, it's my understanding that they should be able to rotate and move. Otherwise, you could get some bad wear or some problems. So I don't like the anti-rotation, but I've had a lot of issues with these in particular because they don't retain the pins as well. Like the regular mil spec with the little groove in the middle with the detent, it grabs and holds that pin nicely. But with these, there's nothing there. And there's nothing in there. So these are pretty much needed unless you want to have your pins falling out all the time. So you can see through there and there's nothing there. There's nothing inside those holes. So just a pointer for you. And they're not expensive. They're pretty cheap and easy. And I don't know why this is not focusing for me this morning. I can't show the assembly disassembly here, so I decided to pull it all apart off screen. But I wanted to show you the two triggers so that you could see that brand name of this one here being POF. USA, POF USA. And there's the design of it. Like I say, I wish it was a little bit wider and maybe even angled a little, but I understand it has to go through the little bitty slot there, and sometimes that slot isn't very wide, so you're limited as to how much width you can have on your trigger shoe. But that one's a lot wider. And velocity, if you don't know, these are pretty good triggers. So I think I'm going to try this one. So let me throw it in here, put you up on the top so you get a top view, and bring you back when I'm done. Stand by. Okay, and there we go. Safety works fine. Won't fire. 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 No fire. Fire. Works good. Set screws in there, Loctite. Also, you saw me with the Vibratite on these screws. Be really careful. Not with Vibratite. Vibratite's good. Be really careful with Loctites. Only blue if you're going to use Loctite. These are really tiny screws. Tiny, 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 tiny Allen wrenches, Allen keys, whatever you call them. And you can literally lock them on there and you'll never get them off. Yes, you can apply heat with these, so you probably could if you're careful. But the Vibratite is just such a godsend. It works so much better. It remains gummy, and you can get it off with regular tools, but it holds as good as red. Red relies on, rock solid, no movement, lock it in position. Where this stuff here has got like a rubbery gel to it all the time, and it resists. I hesitate to say eliminates, but it almost eliminates the chance of it coming apart on its own with that rubbery little bit of give factor to it. So it's tailor-made for really tiny screws. Its claim to fame is those little bitty teeny tiny screws, like on the front of a Glock front sight, or any gun with a reflex dot that you need to Loctite those screws in. They're really small, and you can get in trouble because on those you can't heat them easily because there's plastic all around. You can't just put a flame on them. So it's really hard. All right, so now we've got this trigger in here, and this is going to require a little more careful because you can wrap your finger right around this, and that's bad. You're not going to get really good results doing something like that. So you want to be careful and get just your finger. But this one here, being straight, really lets you get everywhere, right down on the very end, and it feels better to the finger than this one did. But this one here, being so far forward, it went right on the pad of your finger, and I didn't like the way it looked, and a lot of you commented the same thing. But looks are second fiddle to function. If it works really good and functions really good, one of my beard hairs out of there. It's forgiven. There's like was it Townsend Whalen said, there's no ugly accurate rifles. So there's something to that as well. Anyway, I'll put this in the drawer, save it for another day. Put these wrenches in here because they're a special size. This is another set of anti-fallout, anti-dropout pins with a installer, which is pretty neat. Helps you put it in. But this is something that I recommend everybody get. This is a Geissele trigger pin tool. It's 154 diameter. It goes right through all the pins. What a great godsend for working on ARs. It's an awesome little tool. I don't know what it costs these days, but probably other people make it. This one's a Geissele, and it's made just for pushing pins out, holding things in, and you slide it through and it'll hold it in position. With this knob on it, you got good control, good torque. It's a nice length. Just a great tool. If you're working on ARs a lot, invest in one of these. You're gonna love it. You're gonna just love it. And there we go. Just a quick video here. Oh, where'd this one come from? I got an extra one. You're gonna love it. There we go. God bless everybody. CW out.